My name is Deborah Lazar, and I live in Vermont. And I'm an artist. I've been an artist my entire life. I've always devoted some part of my time to my own art making. And it has been a journey through many different mediums. I've worked in fabric, I've worked in oil paint, I've worked in video and photography. I'm now somewhat retired, but working for myself as a full-time oil painter. I would call what I do impressionist realism, because there's an element of trying to make something look the way it is, but to do it in a way in which the brushwork actually creates the image. So if you look at it close up, you won't see anything but blurry brushstrokes. But the farther back you get, the more it congeals and becomes the image. And I work from life primarily. I really prefer to work from life. And I find that my paintings, which are little vignettes of all the places that I've been, so they're very different from taking a photograph, because you spend at least an hour or more doing a painting. So you really get a sense of this place, and that comes with you. It becomes part of your photographic memory, of being in that place. And I also find that for me, being outdoors and doing a painting of something that I'm looking at, of representational or impressionist, or however you want to label it, it's kind of a religious experience. It's very spiritual to be there and be absorbing the energy of the place and then trying to represent that on a canvas. That was always my goal, was to be able to go outdoors and paint in natural light. I don't particularly care to paint in the studio, but there are times when it can't be avoided. You have an idea and you have to create it, and it's just not practical to be outside. Water is a theme that seems to come up in my work a lot. Waterfalls, I like painting water, I enjoy that. And flowers, and then large vista landscapes. So there seems to be a theme of those three things. And I usually get inspired when I go to a new place. I just find whatever gives me inspiration and then try to work with it. And I'm pretty portable, because with the tripod easel and then the canvas, I'm pretty good to go. If you're working outdoors and the sun is out, you really have a window of about 3 hours where it's not going to change that much, right? Because you're trying to paint a moment at a time. So with sunlight, because the sun moves, I usually give myself about a 3-hour window. And I discovered, on my cell phone, I found an application that actually tells you where the sun is tracking. So if I'm outside and painting, I can look on that little application and find where the sun's going to be when I start and when I end. And it's usually about a 3-hour window. I have been an artist my entire life, doing some form of artwork. And it's wonderful to be recognized and to be able to share my work with the rest of the world in that way. What I think is really interesting about the work that he chose is that they are 3 entirely different ways of actually creating art. One of them was painted outdoors on location, and the other one was painted from a photograph of a building in downtown Brattleboro, which is near where I live. So we have one that's a photograph, one that's from a photo, and another one that's painted plein air. And the plein air one, it took me 4 years to do that painting. It's rather large, and I it's a little garden next door to where I live, and I went out there every year and just worked a little bit more on the painting. So it was a labor of love.